Navigating the dating market can feel like traversing the most difficult obstacle course of all time. It is an emotional Takeshi's castle with excitement and disappointment, hope and heartbreak at every turn. But I do believe a lot of men are making it harder for themselves than it needs to be. And they are doing that by making at least one of these 7 dating mistakes. So in today's video, I will illuminate what those mistakes are and help you stop making them with some clear, easy to follow solutions. Hello, my name is James, and I am on a mission to create a generation of gentlemen. The first mistake that some men are making in dating might seem slightly counterintuitive. However, many men are making the mistake of actually going on too many dates. And the more dates you go on, it's just a natural law of energy that your level of effort will decrease with each date. It simply becomes exhausting to go on 2, 3, 4 dates every single week. And it stops you from investing and putting forward your best self to each woman. Dating is not a numbers game, and if you treat it as such, then you might end up being one of those serial daters who goes on numerous dates a week for years and years and years, but never can find the right person. And when you go on too many dates, you often make the mistake of going on too many low-effort dates. You're trying to fit in date number 3 in your schedule, so you go for a coffee on your Thursday lunch break. It's very rushed. You don't have the opportunity to relax, to take your mind away from work and just focus on that other person. And when we have dates like this, we're not really giving the other person a chance, and we're certainly not putting forward the best version of us. So I do believe that for the majority of men, just 1 date a week is more than enough. That allows you the time to plan a date that you will be excited about, and so will she. That also allows you the mental space to prepare, to turn off from work and the other stresses of your life, and relax and focus and be with that woman for that 2 hours, that 3 hours. Plus, dating can be expensive. I don't think it's a good idea to do coffee dates just because you're trying to save money. Instead, save up that money and go on fewer dates with higher quality people that you're more excited about. Another mistake men are making on the dating market is disregarding their personal appearance. Women understand that they have the power to improve and enhance their appearance. That's why women will typically spend more time preparing for a date than a man. They spend that time on their hair, their makeup, their clothing, etc. In a dating scenario, whether this is just your photos on a dating app or the way you actually show up to a date, not making any effort, always wearing that same t-shirt, that same pair of jeans, that's incredibly anti-seductive because it suggests to the other person that they aren't worth your time. They aren't worth your effort. One area of self-care that many men overlook is their skincare. And for that reason, I'm excited to bring to you today's video sponsor, Tej Hanley. Tej Hanley makes skincare simple and uncomplicated. And they design their products around routines. Routines that take just a few minutes in the morning and a few minutes at night. And that's why I recommend beginning with Tej Hanley's Level 1 skincare system, which is what I personally use. So let me show you what's inside. So we have a daily face wash to be used in the morning and the evening. We have an AM moisturizer with an SPF 20. For the evening, there is a PM moisturizer, which keeps your skin hydrated throughout the night. And then to be used twice a week, we have this lovely exfoliating scrub with apricot seeds. Guys, you take care of yourself, you dress well, you work out, but don't forget about your face too. And since Tej Hanley is a sponsor, they have an amazing deal for you. Save up to 40% on your first box today and get a free gift valued at $20. Plus, sign up as a member and you will get 20% off for life. By the way, one of their free gifts is this manicure set, valued at $24, and this is what I personally use to keep my nails looking great all the time. This is yours for free with your first box of Tej Hanley. You can now find Teach Hanley in hundreds of stores across the US. Click the link below to see the store nearest you. But if you want the best offer, shop through my link and begin a life-changing skincare routine today. Another big mistake I see men making is compartmentalizing their dating life. One of the silliest questions I get asked is, should I use dating apps or should I meet people in person? The answer is both. Both are potential avenues for you to meet the perfect woman. And just because you use one, it doesn't mean you can't use the other. However, I do believe that many men make the mistake of being so stubbornly against dating apps that they are excluding themselves from the main way, statistically the main way, that people meet today. On the other hand, people also get so comfortable using dating apps, so familiar with that way of meeting people, that they are less open to real-life opportunities and less open to real-life interactions. In my opinion, a successful dating strategy requires use of all of the resources that are available to you. And if you learn how to use dating apps properly, if you put your best foot forward on the apps, then it can certainly be a very effective part of your strategy. But just because you're having success on Bumble or Hinge, don't forget about those real-life activities where you can meet people. Don't forget to join the run club. Don't forget to go out with your friends. Don't be afraid to say hi to the cute girl at the coffee shop. You can do all of those things and enjoy app dating at the same time. As you can tell, I'm not a huge critic of dating apps. However, there is one thing that I do warn the majority of men to stay away from, and that is paying for the premium version of dating apps. There are two reasons why it's a bad idea to pay for the premium version. Number one, these apps are inherently addictive, and they are designed to be addictive. One of the best barriers against addiction on these apps is that the free versions limit the number of likes you can send a day. So really every day there is a limit to how much you can use the app. But if you pay for the premium features where you can swipe indefinitely, you're going to get so much more sucked into this world of dating app addiction. And that can also limit your opportunities to meet people outside of the apps. But the second reason I encourage people to stay away from the premium version of the apps is because the premium version often allows you to use filters and to be more specific in your search. However, I believe that filters are overall a bad thing for the dating market. Just in the same way you wouldn't want all women to filter out men under 6 feet, it's not a good idea to filter out women of a certain ethnicity, of a certain religion, or certain political beliefs. What really makes true compatibility is things like communication styles, emotional openness, the ability to resolve conflict, goals for the future. But none of those things are filters that you can use on dating apps. The filters that are available are actually incredibly superficial and shallow. So to pay for the opportunity to use those, it actually is working against you. Plus, these premium versions can be pretty expensive. Save that money for the actual dates. Okay, gentlemen, I saved this one till later in the video because perhaps it's a little obvious, but I have to mention it. So many men are shooting themselves in the foot by using outdated and unflattering photos. We all know that women are just better at taking photos, particularly photos of themselves. They understand their angles, they understand lighting. And women just socially take many more photos of each other than men do. So when a woman comes to put together her dating app profile, she has a library of great photos that she can use. But men, we look at our camera roll and we go, well, my buddy took a photo of me when I caught a fish this time, so I guess I can use that. Here's me on St. Paddy's Day, selfie here, and then they put together this very mismatched, unprofessional looking dating app profile that really doesn't show them in the best light. And some of those photos might be from 3 or 4 years ago. So if you are going to play the dating app game, which I encourage you to do, you need to take the photos seriously and get some photos taken specifically to use on the app. If you have a female friend or a sister even, get their help in taking these dating app photos. And in terms of the specific types of photos that you should have This could be a whole video in of itself, and maybe I'll make that video at some point in the future. But the most important thing is that you want to show what you actually look like, and you want to show what your life looks like. Give them a small snapshot of if they were to date you and come into your life, what types of things would we be doing? The sixth mistake that men are making with dating is not being social enough. It's important to remember that dating is a social activity. And the more social things that you do, just the more people you meet in general, that's going to open up your dating opportunities. Dating apps really are great for one type of man. They're great for the very attractive and very introverted or agoraphobic type of man. But that's not most of us, and for most of us, we'd be better off, of course, being as attractive as we can be, using our teach handly, but then going out into social spaces and making as many friends and as many connections as possible. Not necessarily with the idea of dating, not necessarily with the motive of dating, but simply to become more well-known. Not in a famous type of way, not like a socialite, but just to have more real-life connection. The majority of women that I actually date, I don't meet through dating apps. I meet through going to bars with a friend, through a friend of a friend, people that I'll just meet out and about that I take an interest in. And I'm not even doing these activities with the ulterior motive of trying to meet a date. I simply end up bumping into people because even though I work from home and I work by myself, in my free time, I make a deliberate effort to be as social as possible. And if you are serious about dating, then that's something that I am a very big believer in. You have to be social. Nobody is going to come to you if you're sitting at home watching Netflix. The final dating mistake that many men are making is trying to win the date by having sex with her. It's a biological truth that most men want to sleep with quite a lot of women. We are just hardwired to be less choosy than females are. But when a man goes on a date with a woman and he is so focused on getting her into bed, it actually removes him from the present moment and the opportunity to build a romantic and emotional connection with her. It would be better for most men to take sex off the table for the first 1 or 2 dates, because then it changes the script of what a successful first date is. Many men have this idea that if we have sex, if we kiss, that's a success. But to me, a successful first date is a first date where you learn about somebody else, you learn a little bit more about yourself, and then you decide to move forward. And remember that having more sex is by no means the same as having better sex. And in terms of experience with women, you will actually understand female nature and you will understand what you're looking for in a partner much more if you go on 50 first dates where you have an intense conversation and really get to know her but don't sleep with her, than if you were to have 50 one-night stands. I'm not saying you can never have sex on a first date, but the majority of the time, that shouldn't be your focus and that shouldn't be your intention. Instead, care more about getting to know the woman that sat across from you and figuring out, what do I like about her? What don't I like about her? And how does she make me feel? These are the types of questions that will determine a successful first date, not whether she ends up in your bed. Gentlemen, I would love to know if any of these resonated with you. Let me know down in the comments, or perhaps share a dating mistake that you believe men are making that I didn't mention. Remember to always put your best foot forward on the dating market by taking care of your appearance and taking care of your skin using Teej Hanley. Use the link down below and you'll get 40% off your first skincare box. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.